Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to FloRC. I'm Kobe, and today, we're gonna learn the most basic maneuver. We're gonna learn how to hover this airplane. Okay? So, just like in my other video, part 2, which is low and slow fundamentals of my intro to 3D. We're kind of going to base it off of that, so if you haven't watched that, please go check it out. Yeah, so today, the beloved hover, shall we? So, what is the hover? The hover is this, okay? This is a nice, stable hover, okay? But we're not only going to talk about the hover, we're going to talk about torque rolling also, this is called torque rolling, okay? So, if you didn't know, hovering is also called prop hanging. That's about it. Hanging from the prop. Yeah, and then the torque roll gets its name from, the propeller spins a certain way. So your airplane is naturally going to roll the way of the engine, basically. So yeah, so that's why even if you see that I'm not using any aileron, it's still torquing, right? So we're going to learn how to do it belly facing us, and then, yeah, so let's learn it, shall we? So the way that you want to transition into a hover is either, when you're starting out at least, is basically an easy transition from a Harrier, pull up a little bit, add a little power, and there we go, okay? So think about your controls on kind of a y-axis, okay? So your rudder, is going to pin you in either to the left or to the right. The aileron is not going to do anything significant other than stop your roll. And then the elevator is going to control whether you go forwards or backwards, okay? So when you're hovering, everything you want to do is just very, very small. You don't want to make big movements, okay? Because that'll disrupt the airplane. The hover is just all about just consistent and just really small movements and trying to settle in the airplane, okay? Because airplanes are not naturally meant to fly like this, obviously. But we have those big DA-120s swinging a Falcon 2711, so yeah. So yeah, and then now we're going to go to the belly roll. So the belly roll because this is going to be a little more difficult, okay? Because it's going to be the complete opposite of this, okay? So the belly, the only thing that is going to get you better is just practicing, okay? You need to practice the belly facing you hover, the belly in hover, okay? So yeah. So when we're good at doing this, doing it facing towards us, what we can do is we can either power out, or we can go to the left or to the right in knife edge, or simply we can just add a little bit of power and go out, okay? So now that we got all that figured out, let's talk about the transitions to the canopy in to the belly in, okay? So for a split second here, when you're in this position, now your elevator is going to say whether you go left or right, and then the rudder is going to say whether you go forwards or backwards, or towards you or away from you, right? So we have to learn how to kind of blend all of those movements into one solid movement, okay? So we have to learn how to train our mind in order to figure out what to do in what position, okay? So the hover is just all about muscle memory, or the torque roll at least. The hover, you just have to practice and practice, and it's all about power, okay? So your power is going to be one of the most important things that you're going to face challenges. So where do you want to practice the hover? I know you certainly don't want to practice it where you're 2 inches from the runway. but you're certainly not going to want to practice it up here, okay? Because then you're just going backwards, as I said, in the low and slow fundamentals, okay? So you're going to want to practice it at about maybe right here, okay? So that way if you kind of get disorientated, you can just kind of save it in whichever way you want. But if you're practicing way the hell up there, then it's just going to be hard to kind of judge the distance and the angle of your airplane, right? Because not all of us have perfect eyesight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little crash course on how to hover. And yeah, make sure to join me for my live stream at 8:30 every single night on Facebook Live. Just friend me on Facebook, Kobe Canton, and you should be able to tune in and watch. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I post a new video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow or tonight, whichever you guys want. So thank you, and happy flying.